So, good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of On the Tee podcast. Today, we're very privileged to have one of the all-time greats on with us, Gregory Gaultier, joining live from Prague. Thanks for joining us this morning, Greg. How's things?
Hi everyone. Yeah, all good. Thank you. Nice and sunny.
Yeah, it looks like a great view you've got there. And how's life been? How's coaching going? What have you been up to?
Yeah, good. I've been coaching quite a lot, being busy, with some pro players that I have. It's been since I retired. Plus, I've got some juniors as well on top now, so which is good and very interesting also. Uh, and then busy with also some private. I've got some people coming from overseas, to come for a few days or a few weeks here in Prague. They want to train. So yeah, it's always anybody is always welcome.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I assume, are you coaching all levels from beginners right through to, as you say, some professionals, or is it strictly a...
So mainly like yeah, I've got some clients. They're not beginners, but they like okay level. Like
Yeah.
and then all the way to like some top pros. So, but I've got some pretty good juniors. Which is nice. So and then I'll travel also. And I do some camps. So sometimes I do like camps so over like in Europe for weekends in some clubs. Sometimes I travel all the way to US where I do a couple of weeks in a row with different organization, different program where you know uh, they have mainly like a lot of juniors and good juniors. So that's pretty interesting to see um all those different levels and the way also they coach because I share my coaching with the other coach and it's really interesting to see what's happening and to share knowledges also between people. So it's a good thing for me also because as I travel and I see other things, sometimes I can take ideas. When I come back to Prague and coach my players. So this is what I like about it.
And have you coached at all in Egypt yet?
Say again, sorry.
Have you coached at all in Egypt, or it's just Europe and US?
No, I just went to Egypt like a couple of days before World Open last year to train Nour El Sherbini. So I stayed with her for like few days in Alexandria. But no, I didn't really go there like for like training camp or anything. I mean, I've done like um, two squash retreats. So see, this is different organization. This is a we do it in El Guna in April during the tournament, during the PSA tournament. So this is an organization where like people join like a training camp and come to watch the tournament. So it's a different concept, but this is nice as well because they come and get some training in the morning and then watch the pro players at the same time and get some holidays on the side too. So this is a
Yeah.
nice concept too. So I did that like in New York, I did that in Paris, and I did the last 2 years in El Guna, and we do it again in April. So yeah.
And with being in Egypt and coaching there, is there anything, obviously at the moment the Egyptians are kind of dominating. It's obvious to see. Is there any sort of obvious thing you notice that they're doing different, or is it just what do you think that sort of Egyptian
Well,
success?
there's like tons of players there, so the competition is like they're pushing each other, like to the top compared to us. Let's say like back home, we have much less juniors, competing, much less juniors training with each other. So this is tough, to bring this kind of push, emulation, But yeah, we managed to get some good juniors anyway. There's always like when you see now there's a bit of diversity with if you see at the top with players like Diego, like Paul Cole, like uh, and other few that come from their country where they were like maybe they didn't have like that many juniors, along their journey, alongside their journey, and they still managed to find a way to get to the top. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's. I think it's a lot of discipline, a lot of sacrifices, and how much each of them wants, to become like a top player. And also they've been I believe they've been traveling as well, and didn't stay in their country to see what's happening outside and to get some knowledges and to get to spar with other people too, so this is what I did when I was a kid too. I've been as I trained in my hometown for quite a lot, but I was traveling a little bit to see what was happening outside too, to it's richer, like to see what's going on, the way they play, the way they train. It's always interesting to take informations that way too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no,
and not and
absolutely.
not and not stay all the time in your comfort zone.
Yeah, and on the sort of more your playing career rather than obviously what you're doing at the minute. You played over 750 PSA matches. What do you put that sort of longevity in your career down to? Just looking
Oh,
after your body.
yeah. Of course, like the older I got, the I had to maybe change a little bit my training. Let's say, the fitness side. Spent more time in the gym. I transitioned all my running, for example, to the bike.
Yeah.
Less impact, to save my body. A lot of prevention work, to be fair. The oldest I got, the better I condition myself, for each training, for each matches, and that really helped me to perform as long as possible. Obviously sometimes there's no rule. You can always like do so much off court to prevent anything, but sometimes you need to have a bit of luck too. You can do
Yeah.
everything possible on your side and then get injuries. You can be uh, like on top of every single thing, every single details, but you need to touch wood a little bit. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And how
big time,
much how much detail would you have? I asked Victor the same question. His answer was very much he was based off. He bases it off his energy and what energy he's going to need for that specific day. How much sort of attention would you have paid to what you were eating?
My diet, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, this is very important in terms of, you have to be kind of on weight, because let's say if you have like, let's say 2 kg or 3 kg on top of your weight, it's like, imagine you train every day with a weight vest of 2-3 kg. So it's going to be very impacting on your body, on your joints, on your the way you're going to recover too. Uh, so it's very important to be clean in every details and every aspect of your performance. If you want to be like if you want to maximize your potential and be number one day, or like to try to be the best version of yourself, because not everybody can be number one, but can try to put everything possible on their side, to succeed. This is a big detail, of course, for performance. If you put the wrong fuel into your tank, probably you're gonna break down earlier than you or maybe you're not gonna break down at all. If you put everything in. I mean, if you put the right stuff into your body, you know what I mean. In terms of performance, maybe your mood will change, as well, because you will feel good. And the way you recover.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely.
Like if you let's say if you I had to eat at a certain time of the day to make sure my digestion system works properly, and then I can train properly. I couldn't, let's say, eat whatever and then suddenly jump on court half an hour later. There's things I had to avoid to digest properly and then to feel good on court, or to feel good in the gym, or to feel, you know what I mean. You
Yeah,
can't just eat whatever and suddenly like feel like, and then perform in each training, so every time I would train, I would have like some daily routine. It helps me to be better conditioned for the tournament. It's not like at the tournament I decide, oh, this week I need to be on top of everything. No, you already
Yeah.
do it in training. A lot of people ask me, how do you train? How do you train your focus? How do you train this? How do you, let's say this match, I didn't, I was struggling with my focus, but this is not on the day D that you work on your focus. This is
Yeah.
in each training, you condition yourself to be good for, let's say, if you have a session for 60 minutes, is to stay in your zone for 60 minutes and not 30 minutes. And suddenly you kind of mess up with everything. So
Yeah.
if you're already like that, probably in a match, if anything happens, you're gonna be, you're gonna lose your focus quickly. So of course, in a match, you have more like challenges because you have more pressure than in a training. You have more you're in a different atmosphere with the crowd, with the ref. There can be tension with your opponent. There can be like some crucial time where you have to manage those things. There's little stress here and there, and there's like tough rally to manage. But the more you prepare those things in training, the better you will handle those things in tournament, and not on the day D, and
Yeah.
on the match. So those things have to be trained before to not let go like that in every match, that
Yeah.
something
No.
happens. So obviously, we are all human, and we sometimes we overreact, and it's tough to be conditioned like like, and everything works. Sometimes you wake up and you're not like in the right mood. Sometimes you wake up and you have a problem, like it can be like any type of problem outside squash, and you still have to find a way to stay in your zone and put this away and do your job properly. But sometimes, like a little thing, in your body, bother you, and how to then deal with those things. So we can be like every day 100%, and you jump on court and everything is nice and smooth. You always have like issues that you have to kind of try to separate and put your focus, this way and not that way, or like this and like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Which is not easy. I'm not saying, I've been through these things, and but you train those things. You train those things already in training, and there's some tools that you can use to actually condition yourself better to stay in your, we call it like back home, like in your bubble. You have a bubble.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not to go outside this bubble. So and the more you're going to be inside this bubble, and less distracted, the better you're going to put your focus onto your squash, your energy onto each ball. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so this is how I got like taught, and by my coaches, and obviously it's helpful, and not every day you're gonna, of course, you're not gonna manage to be like 100% every day, but you kind of try to be close to that 100%. Nobody can be 100%.
Yeah.
The perfection doesn't exist.
And is that obviously you kind of alluding to sort of working with the mind? Is that something you did throughout your career? Work with sports
Yeah, yeah.
psychologists and
I did quite a bit because I was struggling, to when I was a kid or earlier on in my career, I was struggling to like every time I was distracted, I would lose like points like quickly. I could lose a game because I was distracted, let's say, with a ref decision, with some tension, with this, with that, so I had to work on that because at the end of the day, you are your own enemy.
yeah.
I was my own enemy, and if I could stay focused the whole time, I had way more chance of winning matches. So I had to work with a mental coach for that, and who actually studied my game, study me, my body language, study. Also, we had to study opponent's body language. So then you kind of know, when this player, is doing good at this time, and suddenly he gets bothered this time. It's all analysis. You have to do anyway.
Yeah.
If you see this happening in a match, you see, oh, this time maybe I should try to play that way or that way, maybe faster, maybe this. You know what I mean? So you have to study. You can't just. It's not like you don't train when you open the squash court door, and then when you close the squash court door. This is not even 50% of the job. This. It's not when you take out your tracksuit, you take your racket, the job starts. No.
Always constantly thinking.
Yeah, it's true. You think a lot, and you have to work on the side. You have to work on the side. In every sport is like that. It's not only squash. Like if you ask any athlete, any top athlete, how much time they put every day, into their work. It's not only the time they hit a ball or they go in the swimming pool or they or they ride the bike. It's all the work before. My coach always used to tell me, like, anything you do before and after is 50% of the job done.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's interesting to hear that it's like most people just on court and serve and play, and that's it done.
Yeah. It's like you in your work. If you work at 8 to 5, for example. If you just show up 8 to 5, but if you already do your homework before and after, you do all your debriefing or whatever, and you're already conditioned for the next day, you will probably perform better from 8 to 5 than if you do nothing and you just show up at 8 and finish at 5.
Yeah,
It's the same, for everybody, that it's business or that it's like sports.
Yeah. And I got chatting to a friend this morning, and I said what I was getting up to, and he's obviously a squash player, and he says one of the best there's ever been. And what he said, the word he used was, you were an entertainer on the court. You made it fun to watch. So we kind of grew up watching yourself, Shabana, Ashur, obviously Mohammed, and we kind of got talking about our previous before this, and just almost obviously we're seeing new directives come in terms of the sort of dialogue between players, refs, whatever. What I want to know is, where do you think the line is? Do you think we're steering too harsh? Do we think we're going in the right direction? Obviously, you're all human, and does it become kind of emotionless, humanless, if there's no sort of entertainment factor to watching squash?
You mean nowadays?
Yeah,
compared to the
compared to,
past?
like, obviously you were quite exciting to watch on court. You were your heart.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was expressive, but I wasn't doing this on purpose.
No, wait.
It's all, for me, it's all emotions, and sometimes I was, I couldn't, as I said before, you work on things, and sometimes you don't control always your emotions.
But I think viewers like to see that.
Sometimes it looks funny, sometimes doesn't look funny. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's there's some funny stuff you do, but you just don't do on purpose. Like, but then, yeah, I think today, like they trying to make it like very, like, how to say, pretty strict, to be fair. So you don't really, you can there's no much dialogue between players and referees, or like and I believe they want to do it like to make it like ultra clean image.
Yeah.
And but on the other hand, like in every sport, you want to see something happening.
Yeah.
You want to see emotions. You want to see like characters. You want to see
Yeah, we
to
don't
make
want to
it
watch robots.
interesting. Yeah, that's the thing. And so you have to find the right balance. To make the sport still look cool. Like and entertaining, not only with the game of squash, but entertaining with the way still players can react, or player like like they can show their own identity too.
Yeah.
If you take out all the identities of players, it can become boring too. You just show squash and that's it. You just show a game. You don't show any personalities, and people wants to know, personalities. Some kids wants to identify themselves maybe to this player or that player because he likes his game, because he likes how he behaves, because you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
it's it would be good not to lose it too much,
Yeah, no, I would feel the same. It's just the matches where there's no drama or big decisions or arguing. They're obviously good to watch the squash, but you want to see something happen.
Yeah, of course, we don't want to see like fights or arguments, for way too
Oh, we
long.
do.
But yeah, you do. No, a little bit, a little bit. Sometimes it can be entertaining, but that it doesn't become ugly, the game,
Yeah,
and that
disrespectful.
to the point at some point, like you want to switch off the screen because you have enough, It
Yeah.
has to be the right balance, like I feel, and yeah.
Yeah, so just to finish off, we'll keep it nice and short and sweet. Just going to ask you 3 or 4 just quick fire questions almost. So easiest and most obvious one is what's your what's your favorite memory of playing squash? Favorite achievement?
Obviously, winning a world championship, because
Yeah.
it was uh, it was a long road for me. I could have won, like when I was like 23 years old in at the Pyramids in 2006, after having 5 match balls, and then I had to do like another 4 finals, to get that trophy in my hands. So it's not like the tournament where I kind of played the best, to be fair, but it's more like in terms of how much I wanted it, which
Relief almost.
was a relief. And I felt like I won quite a lot of tournaments and I achieved a few good things in my life. And that was the one of the biggest thing missing. And I thought of, the years are going and going and going. And I feel this thing is going to slip away, and I thought, after the career I had, if I don't deserve that, I would have been disappointed. But so for me, that was a kind of a relief to actually achieve my the dream that I since I'm a kid, or when you want to become like a top player, you dream of lifting this kind of trophy, one day.
Yeah.
So if you can lift it another time, great. But at least once, in your life that you touch it, you just don't see the trophy here. Every time I played the World Open like 15 times, and I did like maybe 10 semifinals, and I look at the trophy every time, and I can't even touch it. So that was like a kind of. Yeah, when it happened, it was a lot of emotions, and not only for me, but for all my team. Those people behind me, they worked for years and years, and believe this was, put so much effort. I had a really strong team behind me who was always questioning themselves. Every time I win, great. Every time I lose, they always question themselves on what's happening, what can be better. And I had like great guys around me that really helped me to go to that stage. To be fair, you don't do these things on your own. It's impossible. Like
Yeah.
obviously you are the one holding the racket. You are the one who has to commit every day, train. But this, you this should be by yourself. You have to be independent for that.
Yeah.
You can't always have someone behind you tell you, hey, wake up and go train. This is you
Discipline.
this is you and you, only you, this. But
Yeah.
then working with people to obviously having like your program, running your fitness program, your physios, to keep you in shape and avoid injuries, your mental coach, your coach, all those people, are really help in your daily I mean every day, to actually help you to perform to the best, at the end of the day. So without a team, it's really hard to achieve these kind of things. You don't see in the top today people on their own.
Yeah. There's always someone there with them.
No,
Yeah.
someone, but it's not. I don't think it's only one person. There's people that don't show up at tournament, but they work from home too.
Yeah. And Not in terms of what you won the most, or in terms of winning events. What was your favorite event to play at in terms of experience?
Tough, because there's a lot of nice events, to be fair, and a lot of nice organization. I like to play in Grand Central. Everybody
Yeah.
likes to play in a TOC. It's pretty amazing spot, and always crowded from day one to the final day. Good atmosphere. What else I liked? I like to play. I wish I could have played in France one day.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice they have the tournament in Paris, so I wished I could have played in Paris. One day. I played the tournament in Paris, but that wasn't a platinum at that time. That was like a 50,000. So, which was really well organized and really good. Some great players came. Thierry Lenku played. Nick Matthew played. James Wilstrop, Bora Golan. So it was a strong tournament, but that wasn't a platinum. But they do a great job, at organizing the event in Paris. So that's a spot I would have liked to play. Otherwise, playing the British Open was always like, for me, like since you're a kid, you play the British Junior Open,
Yeah.
and I won a couple, and so playing that tournament and winning it, is very special. And then I liked the World Series finals when it was in Dubai. It was really nice organization when it was there. Yeah, I like to play in Qatar because they have amazing facilities. They always take care of you like it's always like top notch. When you go to Qatar,
Luxury.
everything they handle every single thing to the best. So I mean, like I don't have any complaint about like to be fair in the tournaments. Like they are always at good time, and it's tough to say which favorite tournaments. I enjoy playing in front of the pyramids. This pretty unique. In 2006 when I played, it was like huge. It was a much bigger stadium uh, than now.
Yeah.
So it was like 3 times more people, and it was like unbelievable to play there. I like El Guna too. Playing outdoor, the atmosphere, the music, the lights.
Yeah.
So when I was playing there in 2000, I mean, I played a few years, in El Guna, but I really enjoyed this tournament because it felt like a kind of, I mean, we play, so we have to like be serious, but it's like a holiday mode a little bit, like on your day off, you can chill out a little bit at the beach, or, you don't want to spend the whole day at the beach. Otherwise, the next day you're going to be like, you're going to be roasted. But this is nice tournament because I've got some friends who used to come for a holiday at the same time and watch us play. So no, I really like this. There's a lot of events I really enjoyed playing. To be fair, there's
Okay,
not
that's a
like
good
one
Oscar
event.
answer.
There's not one event I really dislike or anything. Like promoters always try to do their best. To to make yourself good. Like yeah. So of course this is not an easy task. Because it's a big organization, a lot of players, and there's always something. You can always judge.
Yeah.
But it's I enjoyed most of the tournaments, to be fair.
I feel like based off that answer, you're going to find this question quite tricky to give me one name. But if you had to pick one player to play for your entire career, who would it have been? Who did you enjoy?
Enjoy playing?
Yeah, if you had to pick only one name.
Oh, it's tough. Obviously, I would pick someone that I always beat. But it's not. I mean, but I don't know. Like, that's tough to say because I don't really have one because I played the different generation. Uh, so it's really hard, to say.
Hardest opponent, toughest. Could you?
The toughest one would have been probably Rami.
Yeah.
Rami was really hard to beat. Yeah, I think he was the toughest, to be honest. And then it's tough to say because I would have liked to play with this generation now, but when I was at my best, not. So I
Yeah,
can't tell, I can't really tell,
yeah, it's hard to
But
know.
I had fun. I had fun having like tough matches with so many of them, with Rami, with Nick, James, Mohammed, and then I played Power. I played Nicole. I played John White. I played Shabana so many times. So all those guys, I even played a lot Ali Farag by the end of my career. All
Yeah,
those guys I really enjoyed and had like hard, tough, like tough five setters and or like tough matches, and yeah, it was always enjoyable. Was yeah, was good to be fair. I really enjoyed my journey playing all those guys.
yeah, I'm sure. As you say, it's a serious sort of. You've played
Thierry
for
as well. I forgot
generations.
Thierry Lenko. I played him quite a few times too, and we were playing
Yeah,
together. So yeah, so all those guys, was and the first generation for me was inspirational because I started playing against them, so that's how I learned quite a lot, from them. Each player, I learned from each of them, and that was good for the rest of my career too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Last question for you this morning, and it's not necessarily squash related. And I asked Victor the same question. Um, if every professional sports athlete earned the same amount of money, let's say 100,000 per year, what other sport would you want to be a professional at?
When I was a kid, when I was 4 years old, 5 years old, I was doing motocross.
Ah, okay.
So, and then I had to decide if I was gonna keep doing that or play squash. So what happened is my mom, when I was like 4 years old, used to manage a club, like a four squash court club. So I was playing squash almost every day, and I was doing motocross on the weekends. And then to the point, I had to choose, and then obviously squash, I was doing tournaments and I was doing okay. So I decided to drop my bike and play squash. But motocross was fun. I really liked it. So this is and when I was a kid, I used to go to the supercross. And I used to see the best riders. So I used to follow that quite a lot, and that was a dream to see those guys like in a supercross riding so fast, jumping so high, and
Yeah,
so yeah, this is a sport that I really liked when I was a kid. Obviously, I would still watch now, if I see it on TV, but I don't
yeah,
follow as much. And I used to have friends that were in the best in France as well, because when I moved to the south of France, when I was 13 years old, I moved to the National Center, and they had the supercross as well at that time. So I
ah,
used to hang out with some of them, and some of them were in my class, so it was kind of fun. But this is a sport. If I would have kept going, maybe I would have done something. I don't say I would have been good. I'm not saying that, but I would have liked to carry on.
yeah,
I would have liked to carry on, but I can't tell you if I would have been good or not good. It's not my point. But I
yeah,
would have liked to do something, because I was a bit fanatic of it, as well.
yeah. No, that's a unique answer. I wouldn't have guessed that. And just to finish on one last thing. Obviously we've talked about the past. What does 2025 and beyond look like for the French general? Any goals, objectives, any sort of plans?
No, for now I've got my schedule done until July, August. I've got like a couple of juniors to follow. I have like I'm gonna go to El Guna next for the next PSA tournament, running squash retreat, and watching my players perform. Uh, and then I've got some of the top players that I train. They will come in between tournaments here,
Yeah,
sometimes in Prague, uh, to work with me. Otherwise, if they're away, I still follow what they're doing, and then I collaborate with their home coaches.
yeah,
Uh, so that's what I do. And then I've got I'm busy, to be fair, almost every week. So
It's a
yeah,
good thing.
it's nice. Yeah, it's just to manage, the load sometimes. Like I don't really take much holidays, to be fair. So maybe next time I'm gonna have some time off, maybe early July, maybe for just a couple of days, because then in July, then I've got players coming. Some of them, they have like World Juniors, then I've got the pros starting like late August or mid August tournaments. So I'm gonna be busy anyway. So
Yeah.
and like mid June to early July, I'm doing camps in the US. But before that, it's only like the PSA players, few juniors, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, all sounds exciting. Busy few months ahead.
Yeah.
But listen, Greg, I want to say a massive, massive thank you for chatting this morning and freeing up some time.
Yeah.
It's a massive privilege to chat with one of the players I really enjoyed growing up watching. And I wish you the best of luck over the next year with your juniors and your professionals.
Thank you so much. It was fun talking to you.
Brilliant, Gregory. Thank you. Have a lovely day.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.